What's up, everyone? L the Alchemist with Byron. How are you doing tonight, brother?
Oh, I'm great, man. Everything's awesome.
Hell
Loving it.
yeah. Yeah, we have that Crossroads Valentine group ritual coming up here, and it's going to be on next Friday on the 28th. So you have about 2 weeks to sign up, and last time on our video, we kind of went a little bit in depth with kind of what we're going to do for the ritual. But I know as the weeks have progressed, on my side of things, a few things have been adjusted and kind of a bigger variety can be accomplished with this group's love spell besides just having sex and such. And I know you've been working a lot with Papa Legba, and on your side of things, you've kind of seen a little bit more that you're going to add on to it. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to hear how that working's been and a little bit more about this group ritual on your part.
Yeah. Well, working with Papa Leg, but I got his Veve right here. I'll put it right over here in front of me. Uh, yeah, great spirit to work with. He's one of those spirits that I'd recommend everyone work with. Really, he's right up there. But yeah, as far as the rite goes, I'm using. Just for like the main group ritual, I'm using two of my big plate potentizer. One of them has 3 boxes attached to it. The other one has two to program all the materials. And then I'm going to on. I have this new thought form technique that I've been using, and I'm getting outstanding results with it. And so I'm going to use that thought form technique that I'm still working with. And then, so some of the things I'm going to focus on, I mean, the main one is going to be, of course, the road opener. And, but another thing that I'm going to focus on is specifically good luck, you know,
Yeah,
especially, especially with March right around the corner. And we kind of associate that with leprechauns and good luck, you know.
yeah, I like that.
So, yeah. Uh, so yeah, that's about it. And I'll probably focus on a couple of other things too, because you're on your end, you're doing a lot of love stuff, right?
Yeah, so I was just gonna work with three spirits in the Goetia, but I'm just thinking about throwing everything at it at this point. So like King Beleth, that's one of the spirits, and he's known to be able to make the cup overfloweth of love. But something that I've learned a lot with King Beleth, and I actually believe that this is going to be a part of it too, is as you have confidence and you honor yourself, that type of reflection is obviously going to be casted off your aura. And so he really helps build that king or queen inside of you. So then you can be able to have that respect for yourself. So then that's able to gleam off of you. And it's kind of like a form of glamour magic in a way, too, because you're augmenting your aura because of your internal changing, and therefore your outside and the vibration and all that is altered for your the betterment of whatever it is, whether you want to be a better salesman or a more confident person in your speech with women, whatever it is, it's going to add that effect to it. And then on the other side too, if you're focused on a woman or a man, that love that you desire from them, that will be another aspect of working with King Beleth. And then Sitri is definitely more for having that sly, that smooth, and having just kind of that sexy appeal, on yourself. And that's once again kind of a two-sided coin, like whether it's your interactions with people and you look good, so you're able to, it brings out that dopamine when the people are talking with you. And as well as, that sexy aspect where it's like, ooh, you're really irresistible and how you move is so attractive, and kind of adding that to the person's aura. And then having Duke Vual, which his whole thing, because there's going to be, like I said before, it's kind of two aspects to it, where really three, your main self, or finding someone that you can stay, like build an empire with, or that one night stand. And Duke Vol's more about finding that right person. And like the first time I worked with him, he just said, have the sigil open, and in a certain amount of time, you'll meet someone. 8 months went by, and I finally met someone, and things along those lines. So that's going to be more about that with him. But yeah, I mean, as I was looking through all the different, I kind of love domain type of spirits I've worked with, Grimory came up and kind of saw more of a depth I could add into the whole entire scheme of things, as well as Salos. And really, I'm just going to feel it in the moment. If there's going to be any extras that are added in, and even some like Froglatosh from the Book of Azazel. Even she, I had her working with a while back, and I'm just so feeling out all these different elements I could add into it, and to make it its best. But yeah, really on my end now, it's more so the one of those three. So if you're really looking to find someone, or just trying to have a great one night stand or better yourself, just so it's not just one lane. People can really go anywhere they want with it.
Nice. Yeah. Have you ever worked with was it Zapar
You
for
know,
Love Magic?
I'll tell a real quick funny story. About 7 years ago, I opened up his sigil and I had it with me, and it just made the entire household I was in like really. It was just kind of edgy and lots of anger, and like you could feel it like vibrating so heavily that I had a call with my brother, and he lives out west, and he could pick up on the energy like through the microphone without even knowing. He's like, dude, there's something really weird, like a weird vibe is coming through our talk. So my workings with him was that one time, and I ended up burning it and didn't really keep going with it. But have you worked with him?
Yeah. But yeah, not a lot of because it's hard to say because like when I worked with Zapar, I that was during that time where I was working with the whole Goetia, and some of those kind of become almost like a blur where you can't tell because I was working with so many of them throughout the course of the year.
Yeah.
So he was one of those spirits that I kind of think got a little lost in the sauce, you know.
Yeah,
But
I understand that.
but uh but working in a bar, it's that's an extremely important thing to focus on is that kind of attraction, you
Mm.
know. Because I was working in a bar at the time, and like it's when you work in a job like that, that's gonna bring you a lot more money than almost focusing only on wealth will, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking too. When it comes to love, the biggest one for all intensive purposes is loving yourself, and then
yeah.
having confidence, man. And you can take that with you anywhere you want, and it's going to be able to help you out that much more. Having that charm, the charisma, and really bringing that energy that's like, damn, I want to be around this person. So obviously if you're at the bar and they want to be there, you're giving that energy, you're going to get a bigger tip.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, it 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 for me, public relations was more important, almost more important than wealth. Like that carried me pretty far.
100%.
And confidence, man, that's an important one. I was thinking there was two other thought forms I was thinking about making and programming all the materials with, and confidence was one of them, and then another one was like more of a lustful energy, like a loving lustful energy, just to kind of give people a little more incentive, and then for people that are already in a relationship, to just kind of,
Mm.
hopefully the getting will be good for them.
Add a little spice in there. And
Yeah, totally.
I actually this one lady who I know, she sent me, I would say like $200 worth of all these different types of love herbs, and I've been able to use it a couple times. But from opening your heart to magnetism, as well as forgiveness to yourself. And I'm going to be adding all these in and burning it. And the broadcaster I'm going to have by then, I'm going to actually that night send out that frequency and have that on for 3 days. So all the ritual is also radiating outwardly too on a different frequency, magic and radionics, peanut butter jelly. So anytime you can peanut butter jelly time, you got to get down with it.
Yeah. The man, those broadcasters, man, that's my favorite machine right now. I love those broadcasters. They're by far my favorite, I think, right now. But yeah, opening up the heart, man, I think that's something we could talk about. And I think that's something that, again, will give you that kind of magnetic attraction. But another thing too, and this is something a lot of, because everyone focuses on the third eye. How do I open my third eye? How do I open my third eye? And it, like I was already kind of had like a natural clairvoyance of being going out of body since I was a little kid. Like as long as I can remember, like, 3 years old or whatever. But anyway, the, so, but when it came to like psychic development and all that stuff, I feel like I almost got way more gain and really tuned into my psychic cognition, focusing on the heart center over the third eye, But like I said, like I grew up in a military family, an abusive military family. So that was probably something I needed to focus on for me, and I was already naturally kind of clairvoyant, but the heart center, man, that opens up so much of your psychic cognition, and I think a lot of people underestimate that because of the third eye.
Yeah. And there is a thing where if you're not healed and you have that kind of muck over the aura of your heart, it's going to be harder to expand your aura. And since
Yeah.
the heart is where like that love is being pushed out from, you're just kind of giving out these sticky spider webs everywhere, and it's going to keep people away. And so, I mean, this can definitely focus in. I mean, it's a road opener, it's self-love and healing yourself from that, as well as, like you said, like stuff in the past. Like there's even times where I'm like out running on a treadmill, and if I want to go faster, I just bring up something that really made me angry from the past, and then I'm able to channel that in. But if you're not using those things as a fuel, then they really do become cobwebs and a disaster. And I think you're absolutely right about that, man. Plus, it almost doesn't make any sense to feel like you're chasing after a cup to be fulfilled from someone else, because as you give love, you're going to be able to it's more fulfilling, like doing things for others is more fulfilling. And then so if you have that love for yourself, then you're able to give, then you can receive. But if you're sitting there just wanting that love, then you're kind of being a vampire, and like you're like, all right, you have to affirm me. Oh, come on, am I good enough? Am I and like that whole am I is bullshit. So I definitely, dude, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, dude, you're the broadcaster. I wanted to run it back with that too. Just talking about like the hunter killer and bringing forth just more of a protection bubble around you. And I've been using, because after this ritual, I'm going to end up using the broadcaster to keep influencing people to come out to my shows, which it's been ridiculous with just a regular box, how much more flow of people coming in. Like I've never had the amount of numbers of people that are coming out to an event than I am now, just by having some thought forms created. And then the state which I live in, I put that on the output, and then the two familiars on the input. And dude, just being able to broadcast that out, but I don't have a broadcaster, but I know I am in that one sense. But dude,
Yeah.
the whole idea of an antenna, dude, I'm like, damn, that's cool as shit.
It's crazy what the antenna adds to a radionics machine. And all the old machines had antennas. But the with the show and everything, I was just something just popped in my head. It's like too bad you didn't have a potenizer a big plate, because you could have programmed all of your flyers and
Oh yeah. I
yeah.
haven't actually printed out any flyers. I was
Oh, it's
going
just been online.
Yeah, it's just been online, but I was definitely a month before gonna hit out different clubs and then go out and then I'll just pass them out after I get crazy and they're like, "Oh, he's ridiculous." And then I'll be like, "Here you go." So it's kind of like a holy crap, but yeah, I should, dude. I might have to pick up one of those too, dude, because doing that plus I was thinking I'm gonna put some candles and program them at the event night itself. And so then they will bring more abundance energy as well as just that positivity there. And I'm definitely going to have an aerial shot of each building I go perform at and have machines on for that night for it not only to be safe, but everyone to have a joyful, fun time. And so it's just going to be another bubble of that influence. And dude, it's just honestly, it's pretty mind-boggling that this technology works. Like sometimes I'm blown away. Like even the vampire box, just grabbing, being able to pull in energy from Raphael or Marbos, and then how that completely changes up how my internal feels, and it actually has even changed my eating habits, and made me an all-around more healthy person. And it's just, dude, it just blows my mind. By a flip of a switch, dude, like all this energy.
Yeah, I mean, a few years ago, God, it was probably like 4 years ago. I forget how long ago it was, but I lost a lot of weight. I was dealing with some stress at work. My brother had cancer and stuff, and I had some other stuff going on, and I lost a lot of weight because I'm not someone who stress eats. I have trouble. I can't. I don't have an appetite when I'm like really stressed out.
Mm.
Just one of those people, and uh, so I lost a lot of weight. I got really skinny, and I started working out again. And I was going really hard on like hemp seed and the green smoothies, like raw unpasteurized organic, grass-fed whey protein powder and collagen.
Hmm.
Which I'll send you a link of the place I get my stuff from.
Yeah.
Collagen's awesome, dude. So anyway, so I'm working out like a Guido, and
Okay.
I I use a machine to increase my testosterone, um, I think I just used um, the chemical for testosterone, uh, Ares God of War, and I think I used like one of the a picture of like one of the guys from the golden era of bodybuilding before they were really doing steroids, like the guys that had like optimal testosterone and genetics.
Hmm.
And yeah, man, I bulked up a lot. It was crazy. It was crazy, like how big I got in such a short amount of time
Wow.
during that time.
Dude, do you just use a regular radionics box at that time?
Yeah, I just use a regular box for that one. Yeah, and I think I'm gonna dabble in that again. And it sucks, because I don't go to the doctor for anything. But if I would have, I wish I could would have gotten blood work done before and after. You
Ooh,
know.
dude, you got me thinking about an experiment. I mean, I do my juggernaut ritual for myself like once every 6 months. And then that pretty much just kind of keeps rolling for 6 months, and then I like to upgrade it. I thought about actually doing it today, but yeah, I'm thinking about, dude, that'd be pretty cool for an experiment to see if you could get your testosterone levels up
Yeah.
just by adding those spirits to everything. And yeah, dude, actually, that's thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
and that's a healthy way of doing it, because hormones, there's so many side effects. I remember like I had a couple guys at work, they were like ex-military and stuff, and they were wanting to do some steroids, and they asked if I wanted some, and I mentioned maybe some Anavar, and they're like, dude, because it has like the least amount of side effects allegedly. Like I think there's still a lot of side effects to Anavar, but they're like, dude, like Anavar is not going to give you a steroid body. And I'm just like, dude, like I don't want a steroid body, like
Yeah.
I just like want a faster recovery time. I just want to be able to work out really hard for a few hours and then just be able to do it again in a couple more hours. Like I just don't want to
Yeah.
feel like crap the next day.
Dude, 100%. And yeah, I know some people that have done steroids and all that, and I've been asked I've been asked plenty of times that I'm like, no, I'm all natural. Like I like my own energy. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be injecting myself with anything. That's a little too ridiculous. And it's kind of one of those, once you start the ride, you have to keep doing the ride.
Yeah. And so
And
many people do too much, and that's something like people in their 40s that did a lot of steroids. That's like the one advice they always tell the younger generation, like, less is sometimes more, like
Mhm.
take your time.
Yeah, dude. And also it's like there's no shortcut. Like you're gonna have to put in the time anyways. And so it's better to get there naturally, like instead of taking weight loss fat pills, which I did that for so many years in the past. And I didn't make it. I didn't lose any weight. And it's like, how about you do more exercise and watch what you eat and do that for a few months? And it's like, yeah, like the past few months I've lost like 20 pounds just for that. But I also twisted my ankle way a while back, and instead of using that time to fast, I was using that time to eat ice cream and drink alcohol. So that didn't really help out too quick.
Yeah. I
When
love
it,
ice cream.
that's my weakness, dude. It's the
Yeah.
weak. When it comes to the Veves, have you worked with any Veve before, and where did you find kind of those different sigils at for Veves?
Well, I just did it. I mean, whenever I'm going to start working with the new spirit, I always just do a lot of research, because with each of the Loa, they they have multiple sigils, multiple uh,
Mm,
Vebe. I mean, they're all basically the same. It's just like little different variances.
yeah.
So, but I will say this: when you get used to drawing some of the goetic sigils, so I've gotten pretty good at drawing those over
Hmm.
the years. The Vebes are kind of, for how intricate they are. I think they're a little bit easier than some of the goetic sigils. Some of the goetic sigils are like, you look at it and it's like, all right,
Dude,
start
actually,
drawing it.
so some of them actually look like the face of the spirit, like the
Yeah,
Andros one. Like I'm like, yeah, I really see the four eyes going on there and the darkness surrounding that face. Okay, that's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I've never worked with the Veves. Like that's actually something I've went down so many different paths, but when it comes to anything, I've never worked with a Loa because I didn't have that connection with Papa Legba. So this ritual I'm very excited about because it's going to add that kind of door to everything else, to be able to work with a new system. Because recently I've just been like, holy crap, I went through this book, this book, this book, this book, and like, I want to keep experimenting with things. But yeah, I always had kind of a refrain from working with them, like because I feel like they bring more psychic phenomenon like inside of your household, like a lot more. Just like it's not that it's necessarily a problem or anything, but yeah, I guess that's like kind of what held me back before. Like it's one thing to hear the clicks, the pounds, hear the birds, hear the train go off in the background, and it's another thing like having shit flying at you.
Yeah, one thing that I notice the most working with Leba compared to, like, just say like demons or angels or whatever,
Hmm.
is they like what they like. Like they do kind of have this like kind of wheel and deal kind of mindset. They definitely have like an individual personality, which is like one of the things that I like about working with most demons. They have a more pronounced energy, a more pronounced personality.
Yeah.
Uh, Especially with leg, but especially with the candy thing, because like I uh I do pretty good on my offerings. Like I mean, I buy candles, incense, everything in bulk, so I don't have to really like be limited on it. A lot of times I program my stuff with radionics, so there's extra power in it.
Hmm.
I think I have some moonshine right here, and I make moonshine, which is practically ethanol, because it's like fuck, I don't know, like 195 proof, I guess. 194 proof. But yeah, I got a little bit left right here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe you make that. He's over
Oh
here
yeah.
making alcohol and making machines and tally spins.
Yeah. Part of that, because I was a West Coast medical grower, and I also play extreme metal, and I play all the instruments. So So it's just kind of that kind of like West Coast hippie, plus being like playing extreme metal. I kind of just take that excessiveness to everything. And I got my little silver chalice for my fire scrying. So uh, I gave him some moonshine and evoked him into the flame as part of the offering too, with everything else. And but it was funny. So um, the other night on the full moon, I went outside and made an offering to him, because I've been doing offerings out in this little patch of desert behind my house every full moon, and it's been pretty sweet. And I program everything for about a week or two with my potentizer leading up to it. Wow. But I left some candy for him this time. Papa Legba likes candy, and it seems like he prefers the fruity stuff over the chocolatey stuff. But I'm sure he wouldn't care. But anyway, I left a couple of airheads for him. I removed the wrapper and I blessed it and I left it. And he was so much more stoked about that than he was like the candles and the moonshine and the libation and all the incense. Like they definitely like what they like, So I don't know if you have to like include everything they like into an offering, but you definitely want to include something they like into the offering,
Is Papa Legba the one you have to first time you conversate bring rum to him?
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's why I had the moonshine. I use a sugar wash, so it basically is rum.
Okay.
I mean, technically, I guess you could say it's vodka too, because it's been distilled like 4 times. And I think the definition of vodka is it has to be distilled 3 times. I don't think it matters if it's made with potato or not. But yeah, I just use a basic sugar wash. And I'll say this, man, like if I would have known how cheap and easy it was to make top shelf vodka, like back when I was drinking, I mean, dude,
Yeah.
for like $10, you can have like 5 gallons, and I mean like real gallons, not half gallons. I mean like 5 gallons of like top shelf booze.
Wow.
For me, it's a lot less because I'm using it for fire scrying, so I want it to be the highest concentrate possible. But if I was to dilute it with distilled water, I mean, this right here, just this little bit would probably be like 2/5 or 1/5. That's not even that much.
Wow. That did
at least 1/5.
That's insane. That's insane, dude. I do use Everclear. Like that's how I burn everything.
Yeah. Do you got the 90% stuff, or is it just the 151?
It's actually 100. Well, let's take a peek here. Everyone, this is what I use. We're sponsored by Everclear.
Oh, you got the 190. Good.
Yeah, dude. Because honestly, when it comes to burning stuff, like just hoping that the fire's gonna do it enough from the stuff you're burning is just good luck. Good luck is all I can say. Especially when it's windy out, man. Like I have to make the fire in the house and then bring it outside, and it's actually kind of out of control, to be completely honest. But it's better than doing it in the garage.
I went to the liquor store to get just a tiny like pint or half pint or whatever of some Everclear because I needed to dilute something, and and I just totally grabbed it because I kept the Everclear behind the counter. So I was like, "Hey, do you guys have Everclear?" Yeah. And I bought it. Didn't think anything. I got home and it's 151. I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." It'll still work, but
Yeah, well, bump it up 39, just 39 real quick.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I guess I'll just kind of wrap this up. This is gonna be going on once again next Friday. I guess the following Friday, actually, on the 28th. So you have 2 weeks to sign up for this. And this is going to be really special for me, too, because I quit doing love spells because there was a conflict of interest with it. And that's all I could say. Like the whole being attached to the outcome and all that stuff. But I learned so much with that, and to be able to bring every aspect of love, self-love, enduring love, lust, all that into one ritual. Like, if you're looking for something like that, just know I'm going to be giving it my all. And there's so many herbs to burn with it, so I'm excited, man. And I'm excited to have you do another road opener. I mean, when you did
Yeah,
that for me the first time, it was incredible. So
yeah, yeah. That's good. Yeah, the road openers, man, that's important to do. I think it should be done like once a month. A lot of the hoodie guys say it should be done every week, but I think that's a little excessive. You know,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
if you're doing like a good job at it. You know, if you know some
Oh,
things
100%.
fits a lot longer. You know, sometimes you can even skip a month. Really, I mean, if you do a good enough one and everything's running smoothly, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just want everyone to know, like I'm programming a lot of machines, a lot of materials. I'm constructing my altar for it, and I'm even programming like the ritual cloth, everything. It's going to be, you know, so
Wow.
so
Yeah.
it'll be banging, and I think I will do the lust thought form and probably a confidence one too.
Yeah.
You know, probably will do that.
That would be awesome because yeah, that your end and my end coming all together like that. This is going
Yeah.
to be an explosive way to not only build that confidence and love, but you're right, have that luck for next month. So
Yeah, the
awesome.
luck is important too because you can have a lot of opportunities, but something just doesn't quite work out. Like it almost worked out, but it doesn't quite work out. So
Yeah, especially if you're building the glamour and you're doing for business, maybe you're going to close that deal, or maybe you're going to be lucky and you drop something on the ground and you it takes you an extra minute, but that extra minute makes it so you run into that person at the right time. You hold open the door for them. Then it's literally a metaphor and in real life. So awesome. Thank you all so much for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe, and check out jsgarrett.net for all other products as well. So thank you so much, Byron, and thank you all for watching, and we'll all see you soon.
peace out, guys.